This is Ricky Metallico of 97.5 Best Show Ever. We are on Monday through Friday, 2 to 6. So you can catch us there, myself, Tyrone Johnson, Savannah Kelleher. But here we are with Ricky's Mailbag. You know what? You go down there, you subscribe, you send us in questions, and we're gonna let you know the answers to the best of our ability. Here with Dylan McKinnon. He's gonna throw out the questions. Here we go.
Okay, this one is from Zach. How worrying are these Ranger Suarez and Trey Turner back issues?
Um, Let me put it this way: Trey Turner played in the game yesterday. He came in as a pinch hitter, and quite frankly, the swings he took in his first two strikes, I would say his back is fine. I mean, he kind of gripped it and ripped it, and then he ran the bases also. So I mean, it's one of those things where it looked like his back was fine. It looked like, for the most part, he was somewhat healthy. So I'm kind of confident in that one. Ranger Suarez is a whole new level because now we're talking about not just last year, but now it's run into the beginning of this season, and it's a concern. It's a concern for Ranger. It's a concern for the Phillies, obviously. Whenever a pitcher starts getting back issues and they come back more than once, I think you have a little bit of an issue that you have to kind of watch every single day and every single time you go and throw, because you could get to a point where you're almost 100%, and then all of a sudden that thing acts up again and you're back on the IL. So Ranger Suarez, I'm a little concerned. I think with Trey Turner, he said he was having some hip issues. Maybe his hips were a little tight. Maybe I'm sure they did some stretching and some movements to try to, break that up. So I think he's going to be all right.
Okay. This one is from Steve. The fact that neither JT or Schwarber had their contracts extended leads me to believe the team will let them walk and try to go all. I don't even know who that. We'll try to go all in on a free agent.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
it wouldn't surprise me with JT. I think you have to wait. I mean, you saw a little dip in his production last year. The bigger thing is that, you know what, he's had knee issues, and when a catcher starts having knee issues, the flags go up. I don't care who you are, but once you're in your 30s, you have some knee issues. You're a catcher. People are going to say, "Let's wait. Let's hold off on this." I think they're holding off on both contracts, to be completely honest with you. I think they're kind of wait and see. Uh, with Schwarber, I think I would try to get a 2-year deal done with him immediately. I think he's one of those guys that no matter what, he's going to put up 35 to 40 home runs every single year. And that's a lot of run production. You take him out of your lineup, and obviously there's a little bit of an issue. Now, the one thing going against that, people would say, well, he bottles up that designated hitter role, and as your team gets older, then what? I mean, I know Kyle Schwarber could play a little bit of first base. Obviously, he can play a little bit of left field, but how much are you really going to get out of him? I mean, what if certain guys are, we saw it happen to Bryce Harper a few years ago with his elbow, that he could still swing a bat, but he couldn't play the field. Then what? So in my opinion, though, I still take my chances with Schwarber, but I'm definitely red flagging it with JT Realmuto right now.
Okay, this one is from Mark. What do you think of the torpedo bats? If you were still a pitcher and you had to go against people using them, how would you approach it?
It's kind of a hard thought because there's no proof or facts on these bats at all right now. Uh, I know because the Yankees are using them this year. From what I understand, the Orioles were using them the year before. So nobody said anything about them the year before. Um, in all honesty, if they stay within the guidelines of Major League Baseball of what you're supposed to, what the bat is supposed to be, I guess you could do it. I mean, it's really just moving the sweet spot a little bit for uh, where it adjusts to the hitter. So the hitter doesn't have to adjust to the bat. But, I mean, we saw Alec Boehm use it in the game. Nothing really happened in that game for him. So, I guess there's two frames of thought here. Either it's a home run bat and it should be banned and illegal, or it is what it is, and you just kind of move on. I think it's going to be it is what it is. and everybody just moves on from it. I think at some point there's going to be so many players using them in the next, I would say, probably month and a half, that nobody's going to say anything. I'm sure the pitchers are probably thinking that if the ball's going to be flying off of these bats, I heard a quote from Matt Strom, and he's kind of right. The pitchers right now have kind of everything against them. Their backs up against the wall. He talked about the tacky stuff, and they can't use that, but the bats can change constantly. If you even go further back, I mean, bats were heavy at one point, and then they started hollowing out the ends to take some ounces off of it. So bats have always changed.
This one's from Andrew. What are your thoughts on the Phillies' new enclosed bullpens? Would you have preferred that when you were pitching?
No, I like the interaction with the fans. I came into Citizens Bank Park as a visitor. I didn't mind getting heckled. You gotta be able to have some thick skin, especially being a bullpenner at the major league level. If you're sitting out there and you're gonna hibernate inside of a little glassed in area, I think that's kind of weak. And the other thing is, as a player, you like to get the feel of the game. I never liked it when there was like a heated room you can go in the bullpen and it's cooler outside, because you didn't get a real feel for what it was like. If you're out in the open air, at least you're feeling what the elements are like. You're feeling the crowd. You're in these enclosed areas and it's very quiet. It's just you guys. And I guess you would almost feel like you're at home watching a game, but it's just a worse picture than on TV. But I'm sure they have some monitors out there too. But I wouldn't like it.
This is our weekly Silvana question.
Oh, here we go.
If Ricky had to get any Phillies name tattooed on him, who would he get and why?
Oh my goodness. Really? Who would I get? Trying to think of a name that could be covered up quickly, or a very short name. Wow. No, it can't be Alec Bohm. I couldn't do that. No. I got to go with Schwarber and probably put Schwarbomb. I wouldn't even put, I would put part of his name, but I'd add in the bomb, the Schwarbomb part. Probably put it on the bottom of my foot too, just so nobody could see it. What a great question, Silvana. You are really on top of your game with this.
Okay, this is our final question. It's from Mike. What do you make of the Braves' horrible start?
Number one, I wasn't 100% impressed with the Braves to start off with. I think a lot of people looked at them and thought, okay, you're getting Spencer Strider back. You're getting Ronald Acuna Jr. back, and everything's going to be fine. That's not the way it works. I mean, first and foremost, let's take Ronald Acuna for first. The guy uses his legs. All right, you get a lot of power from your legs when you're hitting. Home runs, power comes from your legs. You're the quick bat. He's had 2 surgeries now on his knees. He's also a stolen base type guy. So where does that really leave him? I mean, I think people think that there's not a lot of work to get back to 100%. Yeah, for your knees. And then you got to get back to baseball 100%, which could take up to a full year of actually playing the game. It's just not as simple as everybody thinks. And the other thing is that, where is he? What's he going to be when he comes back? It's a weird situation to go jump on and say everything's going to be fine. That batting order, they had some guys that struggled last year. They had some injuries on that team. I understand that. I think they're going to score runs, okay? But then you look at their starting rotation. Everybody's kind of leaning on Spencer Strider. Even when he comes back, how deep into games is he going to go? Is he going to be the ace that he was? And, I mean, are you going to have that feel for everything your first year back? Again, you have surgery, and it tends to be a negative at times. And when you try to come back, things aren't always perfect. You're not always the same guy as you used to be. I think the Braves are a good team. I think they could score some runs. I think their starting pitching right now is a little bit subpar. But for the most part, I didn't expect them to be 0-5. I'll tell you that much. I didn't expect them. The Mets or the Phillies to start off a season 0-5 this year. But that's just good news for the Phillies, so it is what it is. All right, there you have it. That's Ricky's mailbag for this week. Thanks to Dylan. By the way, you can catch us 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com, and on NBC Sports Philadelphia on the best show ever, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday. Hey everybody, thanks for watching our YouTube. If you want to help us out, go ahead and like and subscribe for us. If you liked what you saw, go right over here to our playlists and pick out whatever you want to watch.